Again, like international rules-based order is pretty much done, you know? The invasion of Ukraine reminded the world that in spite of everything that's happened since the end of the Cold War, you can still make just old-style land grabs. And what's happening right now in Israel is a reminder that America isn't even pretending to uphold any kind of international rule. It's just might makes right. From a moral perspective, China should just take Taiwan. I don't think they should. It'd be morally bad, but that's what America has said. America has said, yeah, you know, there is no law, there is no morality. We will not set preconditions because our aid is entirely like realpolitik based, you know? Our support for Israel has nothing to do with even like the pretense of them being the most moral army in the Middle East or a democracy or whatever else. It's entirely because it serves their interest. Well, it serves China's interest to take Taiwan, doesn't it? So there you go, you know? We have no moral high ground, you know? Everything that we've signed off on here, and that's what we're doing. We're signing off on it. You know, we're not powerless onlookers to Israel's excesses and in war crimes or whatever else. You know, we're active participants in them by defending them. Would we even do anything if they bombed America? Why would they bomb American troops? What American troops? I don't think you're right here. I think this is way more complex than us just making them stop. No, this is one of those like obfuscation things. Obviously, the way in which you would make Israel stop or whatever, like the complexities of that, it would be difficult, complicated, nuanced. It wouldn't be like a binary yes-no thing. It would take a lot of effort, but it's still doable. Right now, we're doing the exact opposite of that. Like, I'm not saying that there's like a button that Biden can press to stop Israel immediately, but I don't like to pretend that America isn't like gleefully enabling this shit right now. This sets the stage for the next 50 years in international politics. I know that a lot of you lefties, you crazy communists, you know, you haven't believed in American empire for a long time, and that's fine, you know, that's fine. But a lot of people have. America projects a lot of stability around the world, even in areas where it's not necessarily justified. It projects the image of stability, you know? America is a very powerful nation. We stabilize nations, not through exploitative trade deals or, you know, neocolonialism with our businesses getting better deals because they offer cheap labor and blah, blah. But we stabilize in the sense that, like, generally speaking, the global market doesn't like war. A lot of lefties mistakenly believe that war is profitable. Generally not true. Sometimes, in rare instances, yes. Usually if you're fighting over, like, in a very primitive accumulation sense, like you're literally fighting over territory, right? Or maybe you're fighting to, like, uphold a regime that allows you to do this or that. But, like, it's like the same thing people say about the Iraq War. Like, our participation in the Iraq War didn't, like, open up the well springs of American like petrodollar wealth. Like it didn't like enrich America oil. That wasn't why we were there. If you compare the amount we spent on the Iraq war to any conceivable economic benefit of establishing like a government in our name, you know, a new Iraqi government, we lost out on that big time monetarily. Obviously a lot of a lot of corporations that had ties to Dick Cheney or whatever got a bunch of like no bid contracts. So money was moved around, but overall, it's not about the money for the most part. There are other considerations. War is bad. Really. So the fact that our global economic order relies for the most part on stability, you know, neocolonialism more so than like traditional colonialism, that is a stabilizing force. It's not great, it's not moral, it's not being done for good reasons, it's being done for money, but it is nonetheless a stabilizing force. So what does that mean with regards to like Israel, you know? Because this seems like a complete rejection of that perceived stability. Not anymore, right? It seems like, if anything, things are going the opposite way. Countries are leaning more towards protectionism, both in name and in deed. Russia certainly is, and they're somehow, you know, they're surviving in large part because of their abundant natural resources. It seems like we're leaning back from that, opening ourselves up to more conflict in the future. I think to Biden, Israel can do no wrong. I don't really think it's about whether or not Israel can do no wrong necessarily. I just think that America has dug a hole, both culturally and militarily, with regards to, A, the weaponization of anti-Semitism in name only. American government, packed with Nazis. The GOP, packed with Nazis. And yet they can still use anti-Semitism as an attack on others, you know? Do they care? No, of course they don't. Every MAGA GOP member is aware of the fact that they bump shoulders with Nazis and white nationalists all the time. They know what they're doing when they say Soros this and Soros that, but they weaponize anti-Semitism to further funnily anti-Semitic aims, you know. So in a cultural sense, we've overinvested and broadened that claim, that attack. You know, and at the same time, it seems that like the American response to Iran has been reduced to, well, I hope Israel just keeps killing their nuclear scientists, you know? That's like our big strategy moving forward. Like, what else do we have? Seriously, what else? What else do we have? Like, can somebody explain to me what the American response to the Iranian nuclear weapons program is, given the fact that Iran will have nuclear weapons within a relatively short length of time? I can't predict the future, certainly within a decade, unless something goes wrong. Those nuclear facilities are deep underground in mountain ranges. You know, they're not going to be struck by drones and destroyed, you know? So what's America's response to this? Israel didn't even tell the U.S. they were going to hit the Iranian consulate? Ridiculous. Israel notified the Biden administration a few minutes before its Air Force conducted the strike, but didn't ask for a U.S. green light. At what point do you just, like, SEAL Team 6 them? Jesus Christ. And a huge amount of this, literally a huge amount of this, is just because of the Iran. That's it. Iran is a more rational agent than Israel. Yep. We never should have leashed the CIA. 1960 CIA would have taken care of Israel by now. Yeah, they would have smeared so much LSD on door handles in Netanyahu's residence, you know. Really would have put an end to this.